If I lost everything tomorrow and had to rebuild my finances from scratch in Australia, this is the exact 90-day plan I'd follow. Not to get rich overnight, not to promise some fantasy outcome, but to go from stressed and behind to finally in control. And here's what I know after watching how Australians actually manage money in 2026. Most people don't need a new income. They don't need a better job, they need a system. A clear, simple, 90-day system that stops the bleeding, builds stability, and starts compounding wealth. That's what we're building today. But first, where are most Australians actually sitting right now? Australia's household savings rate for December 2025 stood at just 6.9%, meaning the average Australian household spent roughly 93 cents of every dollar they earned. More than half of all Australian adults, 52.2%, have less than $20,000 in savings, and nearly 1 in 6 has less than $1,000. 36% of Australians carry credit card debt, 23% carry buy now, pay later balances. 4 in 10 Australians with consumer debt describe themselves as financially anxious. This is the starting point for most people watching this. Not because they're irresponsible, because nobody ever handed them a system that actually worked for an Australian income, an Australian cost of living, and Australian financial products. That changes today. The 90-day money reset has 3 phases. Each one builds on the previous. Most Australians who try to skip to phase 3 without completing phase 1 are the reason their financial situation hasn't changed in years. Phase 1. Days 1 to 30. Stop the bleeding. You cannot build wealth while the bucket is leaking. And right now, most Australian budgets are leaking in ways that are almost completely invisible. The goal of the first 30 days is simple. Find the leaks. Plug them. Not dramatically, not punitively, just honestly. Here's the audit that changes everything. Open your last 3 months of bank statements. Not to feel bad, to find patterns. The average Australian is leaking between $300 and $600 a month in spending they would classify as wasteful if they could see it clearly. Subscriptions to services they forgot they had. Food delivery apps adding 30 to 40% markup to meals they could pick up for less. BNPL installments running across multiple platforms simultaneously. The average BNPL user spends $2,208 a year on split purchases that feel free until you add them up. Premium streaming services, gym memberships used twice in January, insurance add-ons that are pure retailer profit. This is what life looks like for 3 different Australians on different incomes, and the leaks follow the same pattern regardless of what they earn. On $70,000 a year, take home around $57,200, the average spend audit typically reveals $280 to $380 a month in leakable spending. Annualized, that's between $3,360 and $4,560 a year quietly disappearing. On $100,000, take home around $75,000, lifestyle creep has usually expanded those leaks to $450 to $600 a month. The higher the income, the more invisible the spending. On $150,000, take home around $107,500, the leaks can exceed $800 a month. More subscriptions, more delivery, more micro upgrades that individually feel completely reasonable and collectively drain the gap between earning and keeping. By day 30, your one job is to recover at least $200 to $400 a month. That recovered money is the fuel for Phase 2. Without it, there is no Phase 2. Phase 2. Days 31 to 60. Build stability. Most Australians try to start investing before they've built a financial foundation. That's like trying to build a house on sand. Phase 2 is about the foundation. 3 things: an emergency fund, a debt reduction plan, and an automated savings system. The emergency fund comes first. The median emergency fund for Australian adults is just $5,000, far below the 3 to 6 months of expenses that financial planners recommend. 15% of Australians have no emergency fund at all. Without a buffer, every unexpected expense becomes a debt event. Car repairs go on the credit card. Medical bills go on BNPL. The buffer never builds because the same emergencies keep draining it. Your Phase 2 target is a $5,000 emergency buffer in a high-interest savings account earning 5% or above. Not 3 months of expenses yet, just $5,000. That's enough to handle most of life's interruptions without creating new debt. Once that $5,000 is in place, every subsequent emergency stops costing you twice. Then, debt. Total credit card debt in Australia currently sits at $44.14 billion, with almost half, $21.47 billion, actively accruing interest. At 20% interest, a $5,000 credit card balance costs you $1,000 a year just in interest. No investment on the ASX is consistently returning 20%. Paying off that balance is a guaranteed, tax-free 20% return. Attack the highest interest debt first with any recovered money from Phase 1 that isn't going to the emergency fund. And now, the system that makes all of this automatic. The payday rule. Every payday, before you spend a single dollar, 3 things happen in this order. First, a fixed amount transfers automatically to your emergency fund or investment account, paying your future self before your present self. Second, fixed bills are covered. Third, you live on what's left. The order of operations is everything. Most Australians do it backwards. Spend first, save what's left. There's almost never anything left. Phase 3, days 61 to 90. Start building wealth. Here's the uncomfortable truth about this phase. Most Australians never reach it. Not because it's too hard, because they never finished Phase 1. They're still leaking. They're still building debt with one hand and trying to invest with the other. If you've reached day 61 with a plugged budget and a growing emergency fund, you are already ahead of the majority of Australians. Now it's time to put the recovered money to work. Super first. The single highest leverage financial move most working Australians can make right now is increasing their voluntary super contribution by even 1% to 2% above the employer rate. That contribution goes in at 15% tax instead of your marginal rate, which for most Australians is 32.5% or 37%. That's an instant return just from the tax saving. Set it up this week. It takes one form. Most employers process it within a fortnight. Then ETFs. If you've completed phases 1 and 2, you now have recovered cash flow that didn't exist 60 days ago. Even $200 to $300 a month invested consistently in a broad ASX index fund like VAS at historical returns of 9 to 10% per year, including franking credits, becomes $41,000 in 10 years. $112,000 in 20. Not from a windfall, not from timing the market, from $200 a month and time. The 90-day reset doesn't make you wealthy. That's not what it promises. What it does, reliably for any Australian income, is change the direction. You stop bleeding. You build a floor. You start compounding. And those 3 things, done consistently over years, is exactly how every genuinely wealthy Australian I've ever looked at actually built what they have. This 90-day reset is just the beginning. Next, we'll look at how much superannuation you actually need to retire comfortably in Australia in 2026, and then we'll build an investment plan for every Australian income level. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss either of those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.